With the Cincinnati Bengals set to appear in Super Bowl LVI, I think that's what it is. I don't even know what the number is at this point anymore. But I will say it's been a pleasant surprise. Like if you would have told me the Bengals would be representing the AFC in the Super Bowl at the beginning of the season, I would have doubted you. Probably like just about everybody else. But I really think this particular draft class for the Cincinnati Bengals was special. Obviously with Jamar Chase, Mcpherson, we get all that. But there's some other reasons we think this class is going to be special now. Again, we're just kind of going down the line here of all grading all NFL teams in their 2021 NFL draft picks. We'll grade 2022 once we get there. But for now, we're going to start by grading the 2021 draft picks for the Cincinnati Bengals. And like I said, there's some doozies and some ones to be very excited about. And without further ado, let's get rolling. So as you can see here, with a guy like Jamar Chase taken in the top 5, you kind of wondered, okay, is he going to be the guy you want to take here, or do you want to take a tackle, a guy like Penei Sewell? I can say with certainty, Jamar Chase was the better pick. Like, Penei Sewell was very respectable, but Jamar Chase is a key reason they're in the Super Bowl right now. Like, he deserves a lot of credit and probably is going to be one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, if not the best wide receiver in the NFL for a long time to come. So, is going to be I don't know if they've handed out defensive player of the year, rookie of the year honors or MVP honors and all that, but I don't think they have. They think they've got a bit to go, but I think Jamar Chase is a shoo-in to get the rookie of the year and offensive rookie of the year. Had 81 catches this year, or for over 1,450 yards and 13 touchdowns. Clearly a mismatch for everybody that guarded him. Everybody, didn't matter. And I think he was integral to really elevating this Bengals offense. And obviously combining him with his old college quarterback and Joe Burrow was big as well. But overall, this is a very big draft pick. And I don't think they got it wrong. I think they got it every bit of right. And plus, I mean, the Bengals, they had a needed tackle, but they really didn't. I think they could have put Penei Sewell if they would have drafted him and put him out at guard, because you have Riley Reif at right tackle. This is before the draft, obviously. You had Riley Reif at tackle. You had a guy like Jonah Williams, who was playing pretty respectively. This year it's been kind of up and down for him, but I think he finished with over a 70.0 PFF grade. So you like what you see. You really like what you see from a guy like Jamar Chase. And this grade was an easy A with the 5th overall pick. Then in the second round, the Cincinnati Bengals went and got Jackson Carman, a guard out of Clemson, appeared in 17 games, including 6 starts, had 5 penalties, a 56.3 PFF grade. Yeah, you'd like to see a little bit better here, but at the end of the day, they were trying to address a major need. I would have been more upset if they hadn't tried to draft an offensive lineman. Obviously, they were pretty much set at tackles. Other than that, there was just going to be kind of like, okay, what's next? Like, Joe Burrow's going to be running for his life. I think we all saw that meme or whatever of him running for his life in training camp. And I think the Bengals are going to try to address this offensive line. He's clearly pressured on a lot. He's sacked a lot. We get it. They're going to continue to put capital in this. The worst thing you can do for an offensive line is not continue to put draft capital and free agency capital into it. You got to keep shuffling in, guys. You got to finally find the right 5 that get in there and then start for you for the next 5 years. So I think this is going to be a process. You're not going to find the best offensive line just on a street corner. You have to go through draft processes. You have to go to OTAs and all of that. So I think it's going to be kind of interesting to see how this all gels out for the Bengals. But once they get that offensive line, oh man, that's scary. I think they're going to be a really good team. They're going to be they're already one of the top teams in the AFC. There's no debating that. So once they get that offensive line squared away, they're going to be really tough. And I gave that overall a B, because I think there's a lot to work with Carman. Obviously, college to the NFL is a big jump, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. And I really think he's going to do some great things moving forward. In the 3rd round, the Bengals selected Joseph, I'm never going to get these names right, Asai, a defensive end out of Texas. He was on the injured reserve. I gave this grade a B because if you look at what he did in Texas, and if you look just the potential this man has at his size and speed and everything, I think he's going to be a really good defensive end for the Bengals moving forward. Now, that was something they put a lot of draft capital into, because I feel like that was obviously a major point of emphasis this offseason, and I loved it. And I think even with their next pick in the 4th round, with the 111th pick overall, selecting Cameron Sample, a defensive end out of Tulane, like you see this team trying to invest capital in that edge position. This is a passer, get the passer league, and you love to see it. I gave both those back-to-back edge grades an A there, or excuse me, a B, because I think you got to keep investing. It's like offensive lineman. You got to find the right mix. You got to find the right players to take out that edge position for you and just create havoc coming off the edge. In the fourth round, number 122 overall, the Bengals selected Tyler Shelvin at a defensive tackle. A defensive tackle at LSU. About to say SDSU there. He wasn't from South Dakota State, I promise you that. 5 games, 4 tackles on the season. He's gotten a lot more playing time as the season has wore on, but I believe injuries have kind of sidelined him a little bit, and illnesses as well. So I think they need to continue to, again, go along that defensive line and just continue to find guys that will come in and create havoc and do their things. Now, it is also worth mentioning, obviously you got DJ Reader and BJ Hill on the inside there. Larry Ogunboji, I think that's how you say his name as well. So it's tough for any rookie to be able to come in and get playing time. So, even if you're a first round pick, I think Jamar Chase, took him a little bit. He was dropping balls right away in the preseason, but that seemed to be a fluke. But overall, it takes a little bit to get going. I'm still banking on Tyler Shelvin. I think he's going to be a really good defensive tackle for the Bengals moving forward. Definitely, and that's the thing is you get in these fourth rounds, fifth, sixth, and seventh round picks, and you're just trying to develop guys. You're trying to get guys that have the tools, have the speed, and now it's just about developing them. And I think a little bit more development for Tyler Shelvin will bring him a long way, and I think he could be a very good defensive tackle in the NFL. With their last fourth round pick, the Cincinnati Bengals selected Donta Smith, number 140 overall, tackle out of Eastern Carolina. Again, another developmental piece here. 53.0 PFF grade, played in 2 games, including 1 start. I think it was actually during that one of those last games of the season too that he got that start, and I love that because you want to see how these guys come in and can play. And Smith was a guy that I had actually watched a lot of tape on for the Senior Bowl and even just in college, because I was wondering if the Vikings should take him, because I was wondering if maybe they should take something else with their first round pick instead of tackle, and then maybe they can get a guy like Smith in here in the 4th round and see what he can do. But the Bengals beat him to the punch. And again, these guys, especially in the mid to late rounds, developmental guys that you get in the weight room, you get on that strength and conditioning program, you get in that locker room, you get them in those meeting rooms, and you see how you can develop them moving forward. And I think Smith, at the very least, is going to be a very, very good backup offensive lineman for the Bengals moving forward. If not, start. You never know. You really never know. In the 5th round, number 149 overall, the Bengals selected Evan Mcpherson, kicker out of Florida. Love it. Absolutely love it. This man is a bad man. Like, from the very first moment he stepped on the field, he was absolutely taking care of business. And you really see how what it means to get a clutch kicker that late and what it can do for an NFL team, because he's been the reason that they've been able to squeak by teams, the Titans and the Chiefs, now to go to the Super Bowl. So, I mean, he's obviously been a big time leg, a big time player for the Bengals, and I absolutely love the pick. Yeah, he's been about that 87% range in field goals, only missed a couple of extra points, and he's an A. There's no debate about it. He's been a big find for the Bengals. He's going to be a really good kicker for a long time. In the 6th round, the Bengals selected Trey Hill, center out of Georgia. Played in 13 games, included 3 starts, had 6 penalties, a 53.3 PFF grade. Filled in nicely. Could have been worse. Trust me, I'm a Vikings fan. I've seen how those offensive line pieces that you draft in later rounds don't exactly pan out. But a guy like Trey Hill, again, I think is going to be a quality depth piece at the very least. Talk Colton. At the very least, a guy like Smith that you come in, and if you need him to start, he can get the job done. And like I said, 53.3 PFF grade could have been a lot worse for the Bengals as they continue to work along that offensive line. In the 6th round as well, 12 picks later, 202nd pick overall, the Bengals selected Chris Evans, running back out of Michigan. I mean, it provided some really good depth for him for running back as the season wore on. 14 games, had a total of 17 carries and 77 yards, also caught 2 touchdown passes. I think, I gave this grade a B because I felt like this was a very good get for the Bengals this late in the draft. I thought Chris Evans was a good back coming out of Michigan, and I thought he was going to provide a lot of good depth for NFL teams, and that either have an injury or that's just they're first over, like one of their draft picks isn't panning out. But overall, Chris Evans, I think he's been a really good running back and at least a really good depth piece. I mean, you got Joe Mixon and Pareem, Samaje Perine, I think that's how you say his name. Whatever, he's been a really good back for him too. So wasn't going to see a ton of time, but a really good depth piece here for the Bengals. In the 7th round, number 235, the 235th overall pick, the Bengals selected White Hubert, defensive end out of Kansas State. I've absolutely loved Hubert. I really have. I've watched a lot of tape on him because I really like those late edge rushers coming out of those smaller schools that just make a lot of plays. And he was one of those guys. And if you saw how he played at the Senior Bowl, you love his grit, you love his hustle, you love the way he plays with that chip on his shoulder. And I think he could be at least a very good rotational edge piece moving forward. He was on the injured reserve this year, which is understandable. Sometimes, you get injured. You can't. There's not a whole you can do about it. It's just, it happens. You deal with it. You got to do what you got to do. But I gave it an overall C because I do like the potential here, and I really think that Hubert could be something special, at least from a backup or a developmental prospect kind of guy. So that's what we thought of the Bengals draft class. Overall, we gave this draft class an A. Again, you getting Jamar Chase in the first round. Mcpherson was going to provide a lot as that future kicker as well. Carmen in a guard is going to be, I think he could develop into a nice player as well. So, there's a lot to like about this draft class, and I think moving forward, there's a lot of excitement that needs to happen for the Bengals and Bengals fans because obviously you're in the Super Bowl right now, but this draft class was a major reason for it, and obviously this guy right here. And I know over here it looks like we've got Mcpherson kicking the ball at Jamar Chase. Totally inadvertent, and I don't think that Mcpherson would ever do that because obviously Jamar Chase would just beat him. But overall, I think that this is a really good draft class, and the Bengals have a lot to look forward to. They have a lot of things that are going to build them through, or they have a lot of players that are going to build them through this draft, and I'm really excited for it. But let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome, and we love every single one of you. Remember to give us a listen and sub on iTunes. In the description down below, you'll find all of our social media platforms, so give us a like and a follow there. Also, remember to send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put it in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think about how we graded out the Cincinnati Bengals 2021 draft class.